Well, hello there, chat. Welcome back, everybody, on this Wednesday night to the basement. Sorry about Saturday. There was stuff. Anyway, we have much to discuss. We have last week's stuff, we have this week's stuff, and shit, today's stuff, which has been crazy. So, not going to spend a whole lot of time on the intro because a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So, fill your cup and light your smoke. And maybe even grab a snack, because it's time to get nerdy. Well, chat, we are fucking back. How is everyone doing? I hope you've had, well, I would say a good beginning to your week, but again, had to miss Saturday, and again, sorry. But yeah, who all we got up in here? Lo-Fi Girl Lore Enthusiast, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Icarus, Spicy Dan, Brooke. Good to see everyone in here tonight. Hope you're all doing well. Is everyone doing well? How have you all been for the last week? Did you have a good weekend? Did the end of your weekend okay? Did the beginning of your week start okay? What's happening, guys? I've missed you. Tell me things. Let me know how you're doing. Oh shit, I forgot to pull up my... There we go. Seriously, I've done this before. I swear. So much scrolling to be done. Scrolling. Oh, today's day 25. Shit. Oh my god, so much shit. Nate, what's happening, brother? Too much stuff. I don't know what's true anymore. I mean, that is a fact. I will say this, though. The closer we get to the movie itself, the more reliable the information will be. Let's face it, early leaks are, well, just what they are. They're early. They're based on, and this is especially true when it comes to Marvel. It's based on the script that they have at that time. And as we know, Marvel loves to change shit up. And they do it constantly. What Feige calls plussing, and what the rest of us call fucking around and hopefully making a good goddamn movie. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Oh, Julio. Save that, because I haven't watched that shit yet. Hey guys, how dickish is HBO about like watching trailers and shit. I can't remember. I know Warner Brothers sucks. Prime sucks. As much as we bitch about Disney and what they've done to our beloved franchises, they don't fuck with people. Like we watch the Mando and Grogu trailer just fine. Watch Marvel trailers just fine. Warner Brothers is a bunch of toolboxes. Prime's a bunch of toolboxes. I can't remember how bad Sony is because, well, they haven't put out a trailer I've wanted to fucking react to in quite some time anyway. So completely forgot what the fuck they're like. So, but yeah, because Mortal Kombat 2 trailer that dropped today, but that's from Warner Brothers, so of course we can't fucking go over that. At least, you know, not on the screen you're watching right now, because they're a bunch of dicks. So, oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be some reshoots. Who do I hope to see in the reshoots? I'd have to go back over and look at the chair list, but you know, I would say just off the top of my head, roughly 90% of the people that weren't on that list. Okay, let me ask you a question here, Lo-Fi Girl. How much of my stuff have you actually watched? I would like to know. And the only reason I'm asking is because I do sometimes say stuff that could be taken the wrong way. I generally elaborate. But, you know, if I pop off and say something weird, I don't want you to be, like, ill-prepared. I'm just wondering if you've watched enough of my stuff to kind of have an idea of how I roll when I get on a roll. Hi, buddy. Why are you not chilling with mine? You can't see him, but one of my cats is over here, the big one. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Here, come here. Look at the size of this fucking cat. Look at him. Look at my big old kitty. Oh, you came here through Nate. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for taking his suggestion and clicking on the link. And thank you, Nate, for sharing. Appreciate you, buddy. Well, thank you very much, Lo-Fi Girl, for popping in. Quick little summary. Like, I don't do hate speech. It's like insta-ban. You'll be gone forever. I am a bit of a gooner. So, like, you know, we're talking about hot females. I'm not shy about talking about hot females. But, you know, on the other hand, I don't go all fucking chauvinist and shit either. So, but, you know, I love boobs. I'm not going to pretend I don't. I'm not going to pretend I don't love boobs. Toby? Oh, yeah. No, we're definitely getting Toby. The only question is for how long. Brie Larson? If they do cool shit with her. Tiana? Oh, we're getting Tiana. Tatiana? I'm cool. I'm good on Wonder Man, too. Owen and Sophia. Yeah, I'm 99.9% sure we're getting Mobius. And if by Sophia you mean Sylvie, yeah, we're getting her too. 99.9% on that one. 100% on Toby, 100% on Tiana. I doubt we're going to get She-Hulk, and if we do, it'll be in a very, very, very small amount. But I don't know if you saw this, like I think this was actually like almost a year ago now. I don't know if you saw there's a bunch of concept art for Secret Wars that leaked, and an entire Hulk settlement was very prominent in those leaks. So I imagine we're going to get She-Hulk probably much more in Secret Wars than we are in Doomsday. I would imagine, but you never know. Oh, I like the comic book version of She-Hulk. It's the MCU version that's kind of not great. No, She-Hulk in the comics is dope. Just the MCU kind of. Actually, let me rephrase. Let me expand on that. Let me be more specific. Um, the MCU didn't do too bad with the She-Hulk character itself. For the most part, it was the show that was not that great, especially that finale. Sweet Jesus, that was stupid as fuck. But yeah, as a character, I actually like She-Hulk as a character. It's just that show was not great. Um, so if they manage to get Tatiana back and they bring She-Hulk back, they the character unfortunately from due to the show is going to get she gonna need a little bit of a glow up somehow or other because unfortunately way too many people out there cannot seem to separate a character from the project it's in. So while She-Hulk is, even the way they did it, a decent character, the show was poo-poo for the most part, especially the finale. And so a lot of people are just down on the character when they should only be down on the show. Yep, yep, yep. Come on, Haley and Catherine. Yeah, they're going to be in there. Not much. One of the much lesser known insiders, but when they do speak, they tend to be pretty accurate. Said they're in it, but pretty much only for one scene, which is fine. They don't really need to start pimping the champions until like after Secret Wars. There's really not a lot for that group to do until after the reset. But then they can have some fun with it. As far as I know, they're still planning on the show, and you know, obviously no formal announcements yet, but the champion show should have those three. Should have Billy, Tommy, because they're going to find Tommy in Vision Quest this fall. Um, I don't know who else they'd put in there. Yeah, I can only think of those five for now, unless they introduce somebody else. But She-Hulk started the fourth wall break and not Deadpool. That I was not aware of. You love that show minus one scene in the first episode. I can guess which one. Another scene with the douche at the bar. Oh, you mean the fucking goofy white guy who was trying to steal her blood and did the super cringe Wakanda Forever thing? America Chavez. Every scooper is saying she is not in Doomsday. Like, literally everyone. That's one of the few things all of them agree on. Even though it makes no sense. Since she is currently the only one in the MCU we know for sure doesn't need technology or anything of any kind to hop universes. Uh, she's the only person currently that we know of in the MCU who can hop universes with zero aid. She's not in it, evidently. Oh, for Champions? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Yeah. She would be a good fit in Champions. Although I don't know if she's going to be there at the absolute beginning because they're supposed to do a Champion show, and word keeps popping up about a Strange Academy, and since the last place we saw America Chavez was in Kamertai, she'll probably be in that one. They need to travel to the X-Men universe? Maybe? I mean, don't forget, we have that post-credit scene from the Thunderbolts where the Fantastic Four managed to get from their universe to the 616 via a ship. So as long as that ship doesn't get wrecked, they can take that to the X-Men universe. And also, there's a lot of right now just barely rumor, mostly speculation, but since they're not going to use America Chavez, they'll be using a combination of technology and Franklin returns. To go universe hopping. That's like the word on the strizzies right now. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I imagine even if she is in Strange Academy first, she'll end up with the champions at some point. I would imagine. Pure speculation, but I would imagine. Excuse me. All right, chat. Like I said, we have a week's worth of shit to go through. Oh, of course, that's 404 now. Same one. Did you go 404 me again? Oh, that's cool. Blah 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 blah. Oh, that's where they got that from. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay, interesting. All right, no big deal though. All right. So I mean that's kind of cool. So just real quick, there's a article from a site called Filmbase in the UK. Their whole thing is keeping track of what films over there in the UK and when. Griff! Oh yeah, guys, if you didn't know, there's gambling now. And damn, I gave you that big a bonus just for getting a 76 or up. Jesus Christ. I'm more generous than everybody. I'm not even going to change that shit. Rack up them points, chat. It works like this. You type in exclamation point gamble and then an amount like Griff just did. Which I will now do. I can actually win. Probably not. There we go. Rumor that Loki and whole TVA will die. Oh, we'll get there. We will get. And of course, I fucking lost. Hey, Chris, were you here when I was giving shit out, or do I gotta go find that fucking tab again? No, you did. Okay, cool. Or you were. Actually, I need to go find that tab for Lo-Fi Girl. Shoot. Oh. Bear with me, chat. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this shit again. I just gotta find the shit. Hey, you're in here. Cool. All right, Lo-Fi Girl. I'm gonna start you off with 100K in points, which is what I started everyone off with. And then you can you gotta do something right now, but you're still listening. Okay, cool. Well, if you get a chance, do me a favor, try the exclamation point gamble command, put in an amount. I just gave you 100K. See if it works for you. All right, so we got a report from this site in the UK called Filmbase. They keep track of what's filming where and when, and they had a couple little interesting things, notes in here that the aggregators picked up. So they did some TV series stuff. And this one interests me. I know not a lot of. Oh, damn. Starting off with the big win. Look at you. Way to go, Lo-Fi Girl. Um, I know not everyone's into this. This is like down on the poop nugget. I agree. I love Stargate, so I like hearing or seeing that it's going to be starting to film soon. Harry Potter's still going. Rings of Power, they're still making that show. What the fuck? House of the Dragon's doing reshoots. Nice. Ooh, Alien Earth Season 2 is going to be coming to Pinewood pretty soon. Nice. That's good news. I love Alien Earth. Most of us love Alien Earth, except for the finale. Finale didn't live up to expectations, I will say that. It wasn't bad, per se, but it definitely could have been much, 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 much better. All right, tentpole movies. We got Batman: A Leaves Den, which was pushed back and was supposed to start in February, but as of the 18th, it's gone on pause again, which I'm pretty sure we heard about it. Next Avengers movie starting at Pinewood, but that's been put on hiatus, and that means they're talking Secret Wars. Has been put on hiatus, but that's because of the upcoming reshoots for Doomsday. Now, I'm not gonna. They've been filming Doomsday for goddamn ever. Because remember, it was supposed to come out this May, right? And then now they pushed it back to December. They pushed Secret Wars back, but there's from the looks of things, Doomsday's going to be doing reshoots up until like late fucking summer or midsummer. And Secret Wars is supposed to be out in December 27. And if they don't start filming till like mid to late summer 26, it's going to get a little tight. I'm hoping they're actually pulling some double duty when they're while they're doing reshoots for Doomsday. I feel like they have to be doing some shooting for Secret Wars under the cover of Doomsday reshoots. Otherwise, I'm not sure how they get it done in time and still do it well. You know what I mean? But that's a concern for another day, and even for a few months down the road for that. Is that it? I thought there was something about X-Men in here somewhere. There was something for X-Men, I thought. Your fucking aggregator said there was something about X-Men in here. Goddamn aggregators fucking up. Adventures. Oh, there it is, right here. Also, word that another X-Men movie, the next Jurassic Fast appears, and Ridley Scott World War One movie. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I love me a good period piece. Could all be coming here either in the next few months or later in the year. No added of the 18th. Jurassic said to be starting in March. Okay. Ooh, yay, this too. The Mummy with original cast. I cannot wait for that shit. Is more imminent and is due into Elstree to start building in May. Okay, so they're going to start second starts in May. Sweet. Let's keep hearing about the next Bond, and the rumors are this could be a TV. What? No, because Denis Villeneuve is not going to direct a fucking TV series. It's going to be a movie. Are they doing both? Is Amazon MGM doing both? Shit. You know what, chat? You're going to have to bear with me. I have to tweet out something for the Bond fans real quick. Hold up. Hold up. Wait. Travis, what's happening? How you doing, brother? Yeah, so yep. So X-Men movie allegedly later this year. Secret Wars on hiatus, but again, we know that's due to the did I mute myself? No, I'm not muted. Everything I'm looking at says I'm making noise. Can you not hear me? Excuse me. So yeah, Secret Wars later this year. Doomsday reshoots. X-Men later this year. Nerd stuff's a coming, chat. Nerd stuff's a coming. And I'm fucking happy about it. All right. You guys got any thoughts about that real quick? All right. Excuse me real quick, chat. I'll be right back. Huh. Okay. Okay. La 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 la. Okay. So last Thursday. Last Thursday. What the hell? Why is it on that? That's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, the stream's been starting again because I had to get up. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Anywho, so last Thursday, early last week and the week before and stuff, there's a lot of rumblings allowing as to how Secret Wars, there's a good chance that it could get split into two parts. And of course, that's a fairly exciting prospect because, we nerds know that they got a lot of shit to get done in that fucking movie, bro. They have a lot of shit to get done in that movie. So yeah, and of course, we're greedy ass nerds, and we want we want more Secret Wars, like we do, especially those of us who know how fucking involved Hickman's Avengers New Avengers Time Runs Out into Secret Wars run was. This shit was crazy. One of, if not the greatest comic book stories ever. Like ever. Period, end of sentence. But yeah, he put a lot of shit in there. So yeah, would I be upset if Secret Wars was two movies? No, I would not. And some scoopers and insiders kind of started to throw that idea around, like the more reliable ones. They started talking about. They didn't say it was happening. Let's let's be specific. They never said it was happening. They were just talking about the idea being talked about. If you want to be real, but they never said it actually was happening. So last week, Jeff Snyder. I've talked about him plenty before. If you're in the tower, you've heard about him plenty before. He is probably the most reliable insider that is. I mean, and he's not a comic book movie guy, like not at all. But he knows that comic book movies are, even though Marvel is on the downturn, he knows comic book movies are still big news. So he still covers them, and he still talks to people at Marvel and DC and Disney and Warner Brothers and all that shit. He keeps track of stuff. Oh, Lucasfilm. He keeps track of our nerdy shit, even though he kind of really doesn't want to. But in his newsletter and also on the Hot Mic podcast that he does every week with one John Rocha, he talked about the whole Secret Wars thing. As a matter of fact, he in his newsletter he talked about a couple different nerdy projects. And again, this newsletter came out last Thursday, so 6 days ago, a week ago tomorrow. And here's what Mr. Schneider had to say. First, he talks about, is Avengers Secret War being split into two parts? And he says, no. As of right now, qualifier, as of right now, Delta Dan was cracking. Qualifier, as of right now, Marvel is not planning to split Secret Wars into two films. That may have been mentioned by someone somewhere along the chain of power, but it's not being seriously discussed in Burbank due to the difficulty of scheduling the enormous cast. Not to mention the prospect of having to pay Robert Downey Jr.'s even more enormous salary again. He thinks it's for the best, but I don't care what he thinks. But yeah, so according to his very well-placed Marvel sources, it may have been talked about, but as of right now, or at some point, it may have been talked about, but as of right now, we are getting one Secret Wars movie. Just one. He also addressed a little bit of Batman Part 2. Question is, has production on the Batman Part 2 been pushed to next year? And is it due to Robert Pattinson's press tour or the Odyssey? And the answer to that is no. Production is expected to start in early summer. And forget the movie release calendar. As a kid, what signal started summer to you? Read between lines. Yeah. As for Pattinson, I'm told he's expected to promote the Odyssey, and the Batman Part 2's shooting schedule was built with his press obligations in mind. So director Matt Reeves will simply shoot non-Pattinson's leads while the actor is busy talking to various bozos at the film market. Else give a fuck about in our little world. Nope. That was it. So really, out of those two things, the biggest takeaway, chat, one Secret Wars movie. Just one. As a bit of a bummer as it is, although I never thought they were going to fucking do it in the first place. But yeah. Will be only one Secret Wars movie. Chat, how do you feel about that? Is that a bummer? Do you not really give a shit? Like, what's happening? How do you guys feel about only like 98% that's the way it's going to be, is no Secret Wars Part 2, just Doomsday and Secret Wars. Start figuring what part is good out. The story reminds me. You thought Doomsday was Part 1? I mean, it could be that. It very well could be that. Like, Secret Wars could be two movies, but only one of them still only going to be titled Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bummer, because very unlikely that we get any Battle World projects now. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the likelihood of when they delayed these movies 7 months, that, for the most part, like, made getting a Battle World movie in even more difficult because they're going to be spending so much more time on Doomsday and Secret Wars now. Like the calendar could allow, like, even if they were to change their minds and split Secret Wars, there's only like 1 or 2 dates on the upcoming calendar through 2028 even that would allow for a Battle World movie. And then they would have to push Secret Wars so far out, like you'd be pushing Mutant Saga premiere stuff till 2029. And I don't, this is pure opinion, but it has been reported like a while back that Feige's like just ready to be done with the fucking multiverse saga. He's been dying to do the mutants since the last time he worked on the original X-Men movies. So, you know, we're talking 20 years he's been wanting to do the mutants and have them under the Marvel Studios umbrella and do badass shit with them and do a full saga with them, which is what's going to be happening. So, do the X-Men movie on Battleworld. I mean, they could introduce the new X-Men team on Battleworld. They could do that, but I don't think they're gonna. And I think, again, pure opinion, pure speculation, slight, I guess, informed speculation, you could call it, if you really wanted to. I'm gonna, because, you know, it's my channel and I'm Ken. So yeah, my informed speculation saith the X-Men movie is gonna come out in 2028, probably in the November slot. Yeah. Do the OG cast and the new cast, call it all new X-Men. I think avoiding the all new phrase is probably a good idea, since Feige, part of what was messed up. What's up, man? How you doing, C-Dub? Missed the streams? Well, I'm streaming now, motherfucker. Here I am. There you are chatting at me. Hi. Love you. Yeah, Feige already tried to improve on the comic book attempt at all new, all different Marvel, and you just can't do it, evidently. So, yeah, probably need to stay away with that kind of stuff. But yeah. What was I talking about? Right. No Secret Wars split in 2. Ooh, damn, you got hosed on that one, Lo-Fi Girl. That's fast. Oh, quick question before I go on to your full name, obviously, Lo-Fi Girl lore enthusiast. Is there a specific lore that you're an enthusiast of, or you just love lore in general? Which I don't blame you for. Lore is cool. Lore is very, very cool. Oh, yeah. Wolverine is without an X-Men team. Maybe he is the mentor for the new X-Men, at least for the first film. Calling it Wolverine and the X-Men, it would guarantee it wouldn't be a bomb. Oh, X-Men ain't gonna bomb, period. Like, Spider-Man may be a Marvel character and the most popular comic book character overall in the world, but the X-Men are the favorite team from Marvel. You put out something X-Men, motherfucker's gonna show up, even with what Fox did a few years back. People still show up for the X-Men. I told you you need change, girl. So listen to Lo-Fi. Ah, I got you. Just had a bowl of white chicken chili, spicy Dan's everyday hot sauce, and 2 drops of Fury of the Gods. Ooh. I'll take your word for it. That's why you have the name. Oh, that's cool. I will take your word for that chef's kiss, because just even thinking about the Fury of the Gods Gives me a sore butthole. The idea of Logan having to start this new school, do what Charles did, sit him out of the action, show the character in a new way, would be very funny yelling at teenagers. Yeah, could be interesting. More than likely, huge jacked man Wolverine will be off doing his own shit with Deadpool, and they'll have a recast main 616 Wolverine. Robert says Doomsday is bigger than Stranger Things 5. Yes, I saw that. Like all the Doomsday actors, I mean, not that, what else would you fucking expect them to say? But yeah, all the Marvel actors are glazing that movie pretty hard, and I'm just going to go ahead and ignore my normal, highly cynical nature and believe them. Because I want to. Pretty much. I did put it back in my pocket. What an idiot. What's next? Oh, yeah. Y'all excited for The Boys? We know when that shit's coming out. This is The Boys Season 5, also known as the final season. This is the release schedule. They're going to come out on Wednesdays. I swear, like, 2 of the other shows that I want to have watch parties for are also coming out on Wednesday. Trying to get these watch parties arranged is going to be a clusterfuck. Brace yourself, chat. I'll figure it out. But there's no way it's not going to be at least even a small clusterfuck. How do you give Magneto his Holocaust background without pulling him from a past timeline? That's for Marvel to fucking figure out. Well, they got 2 options. They could do timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly shenanigans. Or they could follow John Campia's philosophy, which is as follows. It's not a Holocaust so much that defines him. At his core, it's the fact that he suffered some of the worst evil that you can suffer from human beings, period. Which therefore means as long as you put him in a situation that is complete garbage, it doesn't matter what time period said situation occurred in. Like, for example, obviously he's the Holocaust survivor in the comics. If we did not want him to be fucking 90 or have to do timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly shenanigans, I don't know, pick and oppress people who've been shit on any time in the last 40 years from now, like in the 80s or even the 90s. He could come from there. For example, he could come out of Eastern Europe when it was still part of the Eastern Bloc, basically puppet countries for the Soviet Union. It was pretty shitty there. It was pretty shitty then. There were some ethnicities being crapped on by the Russians. And that'll put him only in his 40s or 50s at this point, in the modern MCU timeline. There are ways. James Max said apparently some new actors are going to be in the reshoots. Very familiar faces that you've all been expecting. Yeah. Max okay. I will say this. If you really keep very close track of Mac, he does a lot of regurgitating. And recycling. Or he puts out what's the word I'm looking for? Stuff that's much more of a logical thought process than an actual scoop. Well, I mean, he has gotten some stuff that's original. So I'm not totally discounting him, but yeah. And they do some sort of all new X-Men story in Secret Wars. We could. It could. Although as packed as that movie's got to be, as packed as that movie has to be, I don't know if they're gonna start a whole new X-Men story in it. You don't trust My Time to Shine? I mean, she's definitely, well, let me start at the top. No insider slash scooper has 100% accuracy. Not one. There are various reasons for that. One of them is if they're in like super early on the info, again, movies tend to change, scripts get adjusted, actors change, ideas change, yada, 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 yada. So, yeah, scoopers early on in a process tend to put out stuff that is accurate at that time, but will later prove to be false. Now, it happens more often to others than some, but I mean, as annoying as My Time can be, and as often and as she does have a tendency to maybe rush headlong into some scoops that she probably should wait on, she is still overall in the upper echelon of scoopers. She's in the second tier of the upper echelon, but she is still like one of the higher percentage accuracy scoopers out there. Brian Michael Bendis. Oh yeah, Bendis had a pretty good run. Oh, Travis with another fun theory. Imagine Wolverine running to Reed Richards with an equation for something to stop a new King variant. Reed makes it, only for it to be cocaine for Wade to take back the Blind Owl. That's funny shit, Travis. You should send some script ideas to fucking Ryan Reynolds because that's hysterical. That's a fucking good one. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Got sidetracked by you guys, chat. God damn it. Okay, what were we talking about? The Boys. Yes, Boys Season 5. Wednesday release schedule. Motherfuckers. 2-episode premiere. Cool. Oh, it even tells me we'll share the same week of episode releases as Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and Invincible Season 4, both of which I also want to have watch parties for, chat. By the way, did everyone hit the like on their way in? And if you're new, did you hit subscribe? If you're on the replay, did you hit either and or both? And once again, let me thank everyone for being here. Really appreciate all of you who clicked on the video, whether it's live or the replay. I appreciate it a lot. So, yep, 2 episodes starting April 8th, and then the rest weekly on the 15th, 22nd, 29th, and then the first 3 weeks of May. On Wednesdays. Chat, we might only be doing news on Saturdays for a while. Like, real talk. We have so many goddamn shows to watch. But either way, I'm fucking stoked for The Boys Season 5. How about you guys? You looking forward to that shit? You excited about Season 5? Are you hyped? Are you hyped for The Boys Season 5? Already liked and subscribed? Yes, I know. Oh, yeah. Also join the Discord where the notifications are more reliable than YouTube. Rick was kind enough to drop the link in the chat. Gotta go for now. It's fun. Thank you for coming by. When everything's working right, I also stream Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern too. Just keep an eye on Nate's Discord. I'll be dropping the links in I believe it's the cesspool I've been dropping them in lately. So, what do you mean, Nate? You don't like The Boys? Is it too over the top for you? I understand if it's too over the top. I have a very high tolerance for over the top shit, and The Boys has pushed that for me. Like, I'll be real. Like, it's come close where I've been like, a few times I'm like, dude, fucking Kripke. Jesus Christ, Kripke. Like, I shudder to think what Supernatural would have been like if he had the freedom on that show that he had with The Boys. Like, y'all some Supernatural fans in this shit? Y'all like Supernatural? Now imagine that show on a premium cable network where Kripke has the freedom to do his freaky shit that he's doing in The Boys. Holy fuck. That show would be crazy. I'd still watch the shit out of it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love Supernatural. That show's great. But Supernatural on 50 cable steroids would be crazy. It's coming back. What do you mean it's coming back? Supernatural's coming back? Where did you hear this? Oh, Brooke, it's so good. You need to watch it. Yeah, it's 15 seasons. But it's so good. And they really kind of do the same shit every season, but it doesn't matter because they do it so fucking well. Where did you hear Supernatural's coming back, Nate? Do you have like maybe a link or something? Loved hanging out with Sam and Dean every week as the show came up and going back to binge watch on the rewatch. Well, see, I did not watch it week to week initially. It was on Netflix, and like I had friends that are like, "Dude, you got to watch this fucking show." Finally, I'm like, "Fine, I'll watch it." So I like binged the fuck out of it. I think the final season is the only one I actually watched week to week. Like honestly, actually, it might have been the second half of the final season I only watched week to week. Might have even been Jensen Ackles that said that. Well, it ain't gonna be for a minute because he's got to make that fucking um, Vought, that spinoff. I can't remember. I think it's called Vought Rising or some shit. Set in the 50s back or 60s, whenever he was first created, or whatever. So I know he's making that. I think he's doing that next. But shit, if he and Padalecki reunite and do some Supernatural, I'm fucking seated, bro. Seated. Here's a quick little tidbit we don't really need to spend any time on. I just think it's moderately cool. So, Parsa Farahani will serve as the production designer on the X-Men reboot film. Why do I give a shit? He previously worked on the Fantastic Four, Loki, Alice in Wonderland, and he's on Doomsday. Well, we've all seen probably the Fantastic Four First Steps in Loki. I'm guessing they're talking about the Depp Alice in Wonderland here and Doomsday. The reason I bring this up is because, in my opinion, Fantastic Four and Loki, well, actually, and Alice in Wonderland all looked really good. Like the production design, scenes, sets. Uh, you know, he oversees costuming, although he doesn't do the work. You know, all those projects all look pretty good. I feel like Doomsday's probably going to look pretty good. So him also being the production designer on X-Men, I'm down. I feel like that movie's going to look spectacular as well. They're on this last season of The Boys. Yes, I know. Yep. Ackles, Padalecki, and Misha Collins all going to be in it. I'm excited. I just love the fact that they already have Bobby in it, and that he said both balls and idjit. It made me happy. I'm a simple guy, but that shit made me happy. Speaking of my time to shine, hello. She be dropping stuff. So last week, she popped off with this one. Oh my god! Thanos is not in Doomsday. We kind of figured that, but he's coming back in Secret Wars. Well, chat, if Thanos is actually going to be in Secret Wars, first of all, is it just going to be Thanos? Will it be King Thanos? Lots of rumors been flying around about King Thanos coming by in one or both of these movies. that rumor's been around for a long time, and it'll go away and then it'll come back, and it'll go away and then it'll come back. So could it be King Thanos? Could it be Infinity Thanos? Could it be just another version of regular Thanos that has been neither beheaded or dusted? But no matter which version of Thanos it ends up being, if we are for sure getting Thanos in Secret Wars, we better get the fucking spine ripped, bro. Do not put Thanos in Secret Wars and not have Doom rip his fucking spine and shit out, Predator style. Like, just don't do it. If you're giving me one, you gotta give me both. You gotta. I want the spine rip. Better not be King Thanos. There's only one way to use King Thanos. That sounds bitchy. Vince and Jared both have, if they have interest in return, they might want to make movies instead of a show. I'd be down for a couple of supernatural movies. The Dusted Thanos would be best. I'd be down for him to get undusted just in time for Dune to be like, that'd be sick. So hopefully it's true. And if it is true, we fucking well better get a fine rip. Gamers! We got any Xbox users in here? Because if we don't, then I'm just going to skip this shit. But there's been a lot of kerfluffle going on over at Xbox for almost a week now. I don't know. Are any of you guys Xboxers? Thanos only makes sense. If the original hero's coming back a villain with RDJ, having the original villain have to be the hero at the end of Doomsday, like Apollo Creed and Rocky 3 would be fun. Yeah. As long as his heroism ends up costing him his fucking spine. PS5. I have a PS4 because I'm a cheap ass. But are there any Xboxers in here? You're an Xboxer, C-Dub? Have you been paying attention to what's been happening? Well, if you haven't, I'm about to TLDR some shit or go over a little bit of shit for you. There's been shakeups at Xbox. Sarah Bond resigned as president of Xbox. Phil Spencer, well, this says he set to retire on Monday, and this was as of Friday. So 2 days ago, Phil Spencer retired. PC mainly when you have console, it's Xbox. Okay, well then you'll be curious about this shit. So Bond and Spencer are both gone. Oh, you have been keeping up? Well, I'm gonna go through it real quick anyway. Now, Asha Sharma is the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Previously worked on AI products. But even though she comes from AI, she's at least saying the right things. It says they have no interest in making, quote, soulless AI slop. And this is an actual quote. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. Going even more corporate, yeah. So she said kind of like the right thing right there, but yeah, lots of shakeups at the top over there at Microsoft/Xboxy. I kind of feel bad for the Xbox users because like people are all up in a kerfluffle about this shit. All up in a kerfluffle, but I don't play Xbox, so I'm like very much on the outside of this situation looking in. But what I will say to Xbox users is I feel for y'all. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go. I don't know if she was just saying shit to be saying it. From what I understand, a lot of shit I didn't bother bookmarking. I just want to cover those basics about this. I've been, a few people that I follow on the TwitX are Xboxers, so they've been. I've gotten a fair chunk of Xbox news in my timeline lately, starting with that. It's a lot of people are saying that the first two people I mentioned got hosed. They're being scapegoated. Sarah Bond especially. A lot of people are saying she's being scapegoated and a bunch of shit. So yeah, interesting times over there at Microsoft in the Xbox division. I'm going to grab me a pop. You guys drop some thoughts in the chat, and if you're on the replay, drop them in the comments. Please leave comments, guys. I need the engagement. I need YouTube to push me a little bit. Trying to get 500 so I can get monetized. I just want to get a little check from fucking Google every month, you know? When I say little, I mean it. It would be very fucking teeny because I don't have anywhere near the subs, and I've actually down watch hours now for the fucking AdSense. I can just do members and supers. Steam console is going to kill both Xbox and PS5 console-wise, not the game. Wait, Steam's putting out a console. I assume where you will go online and play through Steam. And Steam's already so big on PC. You really think that many people are going to switch from PC to console when Steam puts out a console? I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see it happening, but I can also not. You know what I mean? This is going to be interesting to see. When the hell is that supposed to come out? I haven't even heard about a Steam console. That's interesting. I mean, I understand why they'd want to do it. I totally get why they'd want to do it. Steam machine. I might have seen. I don't follow gaming shit that closely. So if like the people I follow that are gamers don't fucking retweet it into their timeline and therefore into mine, then I really don't see it. Y'all know I'm not a big gamer. I'm not in that world too much. I may have run across a mention of Steam Machine. Damn, now y'all got me fucking curious. Hold on. Managed to fucking divert me again, you sons of bitches. Steam Machine. Alienware Steam Machine. What? Over 6 times the horsepower of Steam Deck. Steam Machine has the power to play your whole Steam library. Excuse me, including AAA titles. Okay, so it's a cube. Oh, look at that. Steam library in more places. Sign in with your Steam account and your entire library is there. Oh, wow, okay. Steam OS, small form factor, cool and quiet. Ready for all the peripherals and monitors you can throw at it. Gigabit Ethernet, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, USB-C, and 4 USB-A ports. Okay. 4K gaming at 60 frames per second with FSR thanks to a discrete semi-custom AMD desktop class CPU and GPU. 2 storage sizes, 512 gigs and 2 terabytes. Damn! Both come with expandable storage via micro SD. Okay. 2x2 Wi-Fi 6E plus Bluetooth 5.3 with a dedicated antenna. Steam controllers, wireless adapters built right in the Steam Machine for direct pairing. No giant brick. Steam Machine's power supply is built right in. Oh look, customizable thing. Hide it. Huh. And there's an LED strip. I'll hop on. Interesting. Steam Machine's optimized for gaming, but it's still your PC. Install your own apps or even another operating system. What? Really? Holy shit. Steam Deck, Steam Controller, Steam Machine, Steam Frame. Dropping that. When's that shit coming out, bruh? CPU, semi-custom AMD Zen 4, up to 4.8 gigahertz. GPU AMD RDNA 3, Say C-Dub. It's basically an Xbox and a PlayStation. C-Dub. Translate this shit for me, would you? Okay. C-Dub, translate this shit. Is this good? Can you read it okay? Do I need to make it bigger? Do I need to tickle it and make it grow? Not really, no. Basically a 3050 GPU. I don't know these things, Spicy Dan. Right now, I'm Captain America in the Avengers. It appears to run on some sort of electricity. It's an overpriced PC. Okay. But are the but are the specs good? Basically, is what I want to know. From what you see, is that good specs? Yeah. Fiddle, faddle, fuddle with this one. No. Extra for right now, but you're paying for access to have it all in one. Okay. Seems like the specs are that good. Probably wouldn't buy it. All right. Mid-tier pre-built. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for your input, chat. As per usual, I probably won't be buying that. Shit, I probably won't buy it. I probably won't. I'll probably do my usual thing and probably won't buy a PS5 till the 6 comes out. Because that's how I roll. I never bought a 3. I had the first one, PlayStation. I had 2, never bought a 3, and now I have a 4. Basically a console without console exclusive. Okay. Interesting. Well, thank you guys, chat. Appreciate that help. Oh, this is pseudo gaming news, but in terms of adaptation, Netflix. I don't know if you guys remember, they're making a BioShock movie. The director's Francis Lawrence. That'll be his next film. They're aiming to start production next year. Here's what matters probably to everybody that played it. The script is based on the first game, and Take-Two wants the release to coincide with potential new games in the franchise. Okay, so this BioShock Netflix movie is going to be based off the first game, and Take-Two is evidently planning on more BioShock games because they want the release of this movie to coincide with potential new games in the franchise. What do you guys think of that? How do you guys feel about the Netflix BioShock movie and that they're going to start working on it next year? Mostly, how do you feel about the script being based on the first game? That's like the key, is what story they pick and obviously how well they do it. But for those of you who've played BioShock, how do you feel about the fact that they're basing it off the first game? Still sticking with building your own PCs for gaming? I need to have you build me a computer, and I'll talk to you about that when at some point if I ever have money. speed up, but yeah. If ever I could do it, I would love to have you build me a PC that is fast enough for me to play a game while streaming without the game being so hinky jinky it makes me nauseous. However, for the general public, it's an all-in-one. If you're a PS person, you can play Xbox games with a PS controller and vice versa, and connect it to the same network without having to join Xbox Live and PS Network to play together. That is an advantage if you're a serious gamer. If you're a serious gamer, that is definitely an advantage. As long as UA Bowl doesn't make the movies, you're in for all the gaming movies. That name is vaguely familiar to me. Why are you not a fan? Explain. Why are you not a fan of UA Bowl? Am I even pronouncing that right? Shit, is your phone that goes as a 45-year-old? Okay. Yeah, seriously, I've heard how expensive gaming chips are getting, so like I'm a little freaked out about it. UA Bowl made all the bad gaming movies. Kind of vague, but okay. So we're talking like Dwayne Johnson Doom and that kind of shit. You made the Far Cry movie? Oh, I never watched it, but I I am very well aware of the reactions to it. They were pretty similar to that the Ang Lee live action Avatar Last Airbender thing, or whoever made that. No, not Ang Lee. Dear God. I'm so sorry, Ang Lee. I did not mean to saddle you with that movie. That was M. Night Shyamalan. However, Ang Lee, I do still blame you for your Hulk movie. Norton Hulk vastly superior to Banner Hulk. Sorry, not sorry. Excuse me. Chat, get this shit. This next one's fun. Check this shizzle out. And this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. We all know if it's in the trades, it's practically true. Dungeon Siege movie? Never saw that either. A Venom animated movie is in the works with Final Destination filmmakers Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein. Venom done by the Final Destination people in animated form. So far sounds pretty fucking dope. Let's see what Mr. Kit has to say about this shit. Okay. Sony's franchise has a new Final Destination. I don't know if I can ever forgive you for that one, Boris. The studio behind the Marvel anti-hero movies, that mostly flop, is developing its first animated movie based on the character. And it has tacked Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, the duo behind last year's surprise horror hit Final Destination Bloodlines. Oh, I really liked that movie, by the way. To direct the project. Amy Pascal, Avi Arad, and Matt Tolmec, who worked on the Venom movies, will produce the feature. Tom Hardy, who starred in the studio's recent trio of live-action movies as Eddie Brock, the human who bonds with the black oozy alien symbiote, and provided the voice for Venom, is involved in the animated project as a producer as well, as is Kelly Marcel, his go-to screenwriter for the live-action movie. No writer is attached to the project, although Sony's animation arm, Sony Pictures Animation Creative, is opening up a writer's room to develop a script or takes. Venom, famous dangerous villain, 1988's Amazing Spider-Man number 300, fan favorite, Nemesis. As for Solo Comic in 93, big screen debut of Sam Raimi's Amazing Spider-Man 3, played by Topher Grace, which was a crap Venom. 2018 Venom toppled by Hardy, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Going the animation route, in theory, allows Sony to keep Venom-related content fresh and relevant. SPA has found great success in Oscar Gold, making animated Spider-Verse movies with the Phil Lord and Chris Miller as writers and producers. The animation process, however, is painstakingly slow, with a script not even on the horizon, any Venom movie is years away. True that. Lepovsky and Stein, meanwhile, know a thing or two about bringing in fresh blood to long-in-the-tooth franchises. With Bloodlines, they reinvigorated a moribund Warner's title, helming the first Final Destination movie in about 14 years to a $315 million gross. It became not only the highest grossing entry in the franchise, but also the best reviewed, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. They do not say what kind of animation. I'm guessing it will not be Spider-Verse style. It'll probably be something more traditional-ish, but that's just a pure guess. Since then, they've become one of the town's it filmmakers and were brought on board to work with Chris Columbus on Gremlins. That's right, they're fucking rebooting Gremlins. No thank you. Also developing blah, 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 blah. Okay. Chat. They're doing an animated Venom movie. Cool. The directors of Final Destination Bloodlines are going to direct it. Cool. Tom Hardy and Kelly Marcel are in there as producers. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I very much enjoy Tom Hardy's Venom. I even do not dislike Let There Be Carnage. It is definitely inferior to the first Venom, but I don't hate it anywhere near as much as other nerds do. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's not great, but I don't hate any. I don't hate it. Third one's pretty decent, but let's face it. I think we're all ready for a truly villainous Venom rather than the Lethal Protector take Tom Hardy taken or took. So I'm really hoping he and Ms. Marcel aren't listened to a whole lot because I feel like Hardy would want to stick with the Lethal Protector thing. And again, I think the fandom is ready for villain Venom, full on villain. I think we're ready for that. I think we want that. So while I am totally down for an animated Venom movie directed by the people that did Final Destination Bloodlines, Hardy and Marcel's involvement makes me just a little nervous. Because, like I said, I am ready for a very villainous, not Lethal Protector, but villainous Venom. And I'm pretty sure the fandom is as well. What do you guys think about we're getting a Venom animated movie? What do you think about it being directed by the directors of Bloodlines? What do you think about Tom Hardy's involvement? And will he kind of nerf him some more or again? This is all that same stuff. Why do they put the wrong links and shit? Tom Hardy's a dub for you. An arcane style Venom show would be dope. Yeah, that would be cool. You borderline hated the first two, but you loved the third one. Really? Okay, that's interesting. Enjoyed all the Venom films. Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed them all to greater or lesser degrees, but yeah, I definitely don't hate any of them. The quality doth vary. So, Nate, I think Sony will go darker with Venom. I heard from the MCU we're supposed to get Agent Venom and he'll be a lethal protector. I mean, okay. I really hope Sony goes darker with Venom. Like I said, I'm ready for villain Venom. I want live action villain or Venom to start off a villain. He can morph. He can arc into the Lethal Protector, but I don't want him to start as the Lethal Protector. I have 3 movies of the Lethal Protector Venom already. Whether they're done by Marvel Studios or not, I have them. They're there. We have 6 hours of Lethal Protector. Let him be a villain for a while. Man. Let him be evil for a minute. That's what they should do, in my opinion. Give us evil Venom for a minute. So who will be the heroes then in the animated movie? I don't know. I would imagine, hopefully, fucking Spider-Man. I would hope Spider-Man. Hope Marvel does a trilogy on Null. That'd be interesting. If they're gonna do Null, I want them to do King in Black. But as much shit's in King in Black, that's a can they have to kick down the road for quite a ways. Venom and Eddie Brock should have an MCU Loki story arc leading up to the King in Black. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Getting someone like Reacher, you mean Richardson, to voice Flash Thompson doing a bloody animated military movie that becomes an Agent Venom movie would be sick. I'd be down for that. I mean, they did hint at Agent Venom in The Last Dance. Because the one soldier with the right last name, they called him Thompson, got his legs yanked off, bitten off, chopped off by one of the symbiotes. So they really need the MCU for King of Black. Oh, 100%. Don't worry, we got some Sony shit to talk about later anyway. All right. Moving on. Like I said, we got a week's worth of shit, so we got to keep this shit moving, folks. Tell me what you guys think about this. Daredevil Born Again showrunner Dario Scartapane says the Mayor Fisk run ends with season 2. What? So as we finish up the Mayor Fisk run with season 2, as that storyline comes to its inevitable conclusion, what we're doing going forward feels more like a return to the Frank Miller era comic. Okay. That's kind of mixed, at least for me. First of all, finishing up Mayor Fisk with season 2, kind of a bummer. Because for the longest time, I've been hoping, and people, although it never got past like really like super early rumor stage, there's been more speculation, but a lot of people have been speculating that they would basically what he's calling the Mayor Fisk run is essentially the Devil's Reign. Is that what that was called? When Fisk was mayor and his task force and vigilantes being illegal, except the ones that work for him, of course. That kind of thing. I think that was Devil's Reign. I thought, among many other people, I thought that they would conclude that in Spider-Man 5. But if they're finishing up with Mayor Fisk at the end of season 2, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with Spider-Man 5. I'm kind of disappointed in that. However, that last part, what we're doing going forward, feels more like a return to the Frank Miller era comics. Now that I like. I didn't want to finish up Devil's Reign until Spider-Man 5 so we could actually have Spider-Man in that goddamn story where he fucking belongs. So again, that's a little disappointing, but if after that, Scartapani's being like honest and accurate, and then obviously he's talking about season 3. If season 3 is going kind of a return to the Frank Miller era comics, that's bonerific, folks. Frank Miller's the shit. Spider-Man 5 is an F4 crossover. Ooh, you know what they could do with that? They could you know what they could fuck around with? They could fuck around with Hickman's F4 run. If they're going to do that, Spider-Man was a big part of that. That could be fun. Little Future Foundation Peter Parker swinging around. That'd be sick. I'd be here for that. What do you guys think? You a little disappointed that Mayor Fisk is going to be done in Daredevil rather than them finishing it in Spider-Man 5? How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about him saying, but after that, after season 2, they're going to be going back to like Frank Miller era style Daredevil? What do you guys think about that? Is that part 1 for me? Kind of a bummer. Part 2, yeah. Like the old style Daredevil show? Oh yeah, Netflix Daredevil was pimp. That was high quality. For sure. Decided Daredevil's going to go the movie route. What do you mean? Like be in movies? Yeah. I don't know if he's going to get his own. There's still, like, his own shit appears to be, at least for now, because they're doing a season 3 of Daredevil, Disney Plus stuff. Like, if Sony wasn't a bunch of douche canoes and weren't hogging Kingpin, they probably would have finished it in Spider-Man 4, which is when Spider-Man was going to be a totally grounded movie. I thought they were going to do, but then they didn't. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely. I mean, as much as I'm enjoying Disney Plus Daredevil, well, probably will be enjoying it a lot more after season 2. You're definitely getting this one we're seeing. There won't be a season 4. It'll be a movie. You think he's going to get a solo movie, or do you think we're going to get a Defenders movie? Because nerds love Daredevil. I don't know how much the general audience knows about Daredevil, but I'll tell you what the general audience does know. They know Marvel crossover movies are fucking dope, so they would probably go see a Defenders movie, and then they could learn about Daredevil and Jessica Jones and hopefully Luke Cage. They need to bring that motherfucker back. And someone not named Finn Jones as an Iron Fist. Yeah, I can see them doing a Defenders movie before they do a solo movie for Daredevil. That's just totally my opinion, and also kind of how I would do it, especially with these characters that are really only known to nerds. You know, don't forget if they're going to put it in the theater, they want the fucking general audience to show up. So I feel like if we don't see Daredevil on screen in Spidey 5, which would be great if they fucking do that, my personal opinion, I feel like they'll introduce him to the general audience in a crossover Defenders movie, and then he might get his own after that. But again, that's just my opinion, my speculation. Pick your on. Any further thoughts on that shit before we move on? You guys interested in a potential plot leak for the Batman 2? Like full plot leak? I say potential because it comes from the Reddit, but it's interesting. You guys interested in that, or do you want me to skip that? Because again, this is a potential full plot leak, so like it doesn't get much more massive in terms of spoilers because this is literally spoiling the movie, possibly, allegedly. And it could be spoiling aspects if it's even partially right. There's still spoilers. And, you know what I mean? You guys have any interest in that, or shall I skip it? I'm giving you guys the option on how spoilery I get with this shit. If you don't want to know, we'll move on to the next thing. But if you do want to know, we'll get all up in it. Tried to watch the Batman the other night. Yawn. I'll tell you what. For me, Nate, first time I watched it, I was like, okay. And then for whatever reason, I got a hankering to give it another shot, and then I liked it more on the second one. And then I watched it the third time, and I liked it even more. But that's just my experience. But I'm just saying, the first time was the roughest. Pause. But yeah, the more I watch the Batman, the more I enjoy the Batman. It's interesting. Seen it once, but you always say the rewatch is the best way to rate it. I mean, yeah, there's that's fair. Like the first watch, is generally more of an initial emotional reaction than like an actual analysis per se. So yeah, that's fair. Watching it the second time, you got all that emotional reaction shit out of the way, and you can actually like more fully take it in. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with that. Basically, I have the entire movie of Venom being a villain, saith Travis. Book ending it with him and Spider-Man making peace, then moving on, sending them on a mission together, setting up a sequel. Interesting. That could be fun. But you guys want to know about this fucking Batman 2 leak or not? Yes, no, maybe so. Do you want to know? Love to see the Court of Owls in the Batman too. I'll tell you this much: they're not mentioned in this leak. They are pretty formidable. Are you guys familiar with condensed comics that DC's putting out? Y'all heard about these? Check this shit out. I have 2 of them. Sorry, they're called compact comics. They're $10. Goddamn light glare. Yeah, I have the Court of Owls saga. This is the first one I bought. And then I went back to the comic shop because they had a Hush one, but that one was out. But I saw this, and since the Batman 2, at least for now, appears to be somewhat of an adaptation, I got the Long Halloween. $10. DC compact comic. And this is like the story. These are the story. Now, I don't know for sure if maybe they might have skipped an inconsequential issue here and there, but those are the stories, man. This is the beginning of the Long Halloween one. Pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I have the Court of Owls saga. I have the Long Halloween. Last time I was at the comic shop, they also... What was the other Batman one they had? I'll be right back. I got to track a cat down and keep him out of fucking trouble. I love my cats, but they can be assholes. All right. Well, I'm going to read the plot leak. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler warning. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler warning. So here we go. So according to whoever the fuck LP is, according to what that person was told, Part 2 is way more intimate than people expect. It's really about Bruce, Harvey, and Arkham, the person, not the asylum, and how all three are connected in ways Bruce hasn't fully confronted yet. The movie picks up a little while after the Penguin series, which was so good. Gotham is trying to clean itself up, but its organized crime is being rebuilt in the shadows. Drugs are still everywhere. And Arkham is supposed to be undergoing. Okay, never mind, it is the asylum. And Arkham is supposed to be undergoing quote unquote reform. Harvey Dent is now the public face of that reform. And he's presented as young, idealistic, and loud about fixing the system from the inside. Bruce and Harvey reconnect early on, and it's clear they actually have a deep history. There's real warmth there, not just professional overlap. Around the same time, Bruce crosses paths with Vicky Vale. Ooh, they're bringing Vicky Vale in, allegedly. An investigative journalist digging into Arkham, the new DA, reclusive Bruce Wayne's reemergence, and the sudden political push to elevate certain figures within Gotham's mental health system. Ooh. One of the quieter but important threads in the circus that Bruce and Harvey is the circus that Bruce and Harvey attend together. It's framed almost like a return to normality for Bruce. That's where the Grayson tragedy happens. Oh shit, Grayson's in the circus. Harvey pulls strings to make sure the surviving kid, Dick, is placed in what's supposed to be one of Gotham's best orphanages, but something about it doesn't sit right with Bruce, and it sticks with him. As Batman, Bruce starts pulling at Arkham threads and realizes the place isn't just corrupt, but that it's actively dangerous. Inmates are being drugged, conditioned, experimented on. The person overseeing much of this is Arkham's new head psychiatrist, who publicly presents himself as calm, progressive, and genuinely compassionate. Privately, he's anything but. He knows Gotham's fears because he studied them, and he studied Bruce's family in particular. The middle of the movie slowly reveals that Harvey has been seeing this doctor for years, since childhood. He defends him constantly, even when Bruce starts asking uncomfortable questions. Quick question, chat. How old is the Scarecrow in the comics compared to Bruce Wayne? Because they're not naming said psychiatrist who is an expert on fear because he studied them. I mean, doesn't that sound like Scarecrow to y'all? Well, they're not saying it, they're just calling him psychiatrist. But they're saying he's old enough to have treated Harvey Dent as a kid. That means he's got to be in probably late 50s, early 60s minimum. So I'm interested. If anyone knows specifically how old the Scarecrow is in the comics, and I can't remember his fucking regular name, please let me know. Where was I? Constantly. Okay. There's a key scene where Bruce straight up asks Harvey if he trusts this man more than he trusts him. Uh-oh. Things escalate when the psychiatrist orchestrates a massive Arkham breakout and fear gas hits part of the city. Sounds like fucking Scarecrow to me. Batman fights through Arkham itself in what's basically a nightmare sequence with inmates loose, gas everywhere, and reality bending. Ooh. A couple familiar faces escape during the chaos, but they don't even bother engaging Batman. A couple familiar faces. Like I was being vague there. I would say one of them probably Jonathan Crane. Yes, thank you. I would say one of them is probably the Barry Keoghan Barry Keoghan Joker. Not sure who the other one would be. Oh, Sophia Marcone Now Gigante, maybe? But she's not. What's her butt's not supposed to be in the movie, so maybe not. I'm going to say Joker, and I can't figure out who the fucking other one is. Those are my guesses. Joker and somebody. Of course, then again, maybe everyone's wrong, and Milioti is in the movie, and it's Joker and Sophia. Could be interesting. Yes, so a couple familiar faces escape, but they don't even bother engaging Batman. Convenient. Now, while Batman is dealing with Arkham, Harvey is across town prosecuting Oz Cobb in a high-profile trial tied directly to the drug epidemic. Alrighty. Well, we did know that Colin Farrell's going to be in this. Oz snaps, and in front of everyone, he throws acid in Harvey's face. The final act is Fallout. Harvey survives. Batman takes down the Arkham Mastermind, but it's not some triumphant ending. The movie closes quietly, with Bruce revisiting the orphanage Harvey recommended, and the last scene is Bruce officially adopting Dick Grayson. The movie ends with Bruce narrating about choice, deciding that if Gotham keeps creating victims, he's going to stop at least one of them from becoming another Harvey Dent. That's it. No cliffhanger villain tease, or no cliffhanger villain tease. Now, if this is real, and honestly it sounds real, it's way darker and sadder than people are expecting. Yeah. Now, no mention of ScarJo as Gilda in here at all. Doesn't talk about Harvey being married. We have what sounds like a fucking Scarecrow sounding character in there for sure. At least that's my opinion. Sounds like a fucking Scarecrow. So, what do you guys think? I think it sounds like it could be really fucking cool. That nightmare sequence where he's working his way through Arkham and all the insane people and all the gas flying around, and that part sounds pretty cool. Sounds like it'll be a good action set piece. I like the intrigue. So, I don't know if again, it's a Reddit leak. Don't know how accurate it is. Could be complete and utter AI bullshit. But I will say, if that is basically what happens in the movie, I think it sounds actually pretty cool. What do you guys think? Nightmare sequence? Yeah. You know what? Well, Daniel just exposed everybody. Now I know when you motherfuckers shut me off. Now I know the truth, chat. You guys want some details about Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 2, since Season 1 was so enjoyable? Well, check this shit out. It is now in production. Cool. It'll be 6 episodes again, ranging between 30 and 60 minutes. Oh, so we'll get some longer episodes in Season 2. Cool. It's adapting The Sworn Sword. I'm assuming that's the title of one of the short stories. Duncan Egg will go to Dorne. Yep, they set that up at the end of Season 1. Show will stay in Dunk's POV. Cool. George R.R. Martin is heavily involved and visited the set. Well, hopefully he gets along with that showrunner better than he does with the showrunner of Hot D. Explores the theme of loyalty and maybe against blind loyalty. And Westeros is in a drought at this point in time. That's a bummer. So, nothing there that's like really super woohoo, but a couple little deets about Season 2. You guys got any thoughts on those? Characters are pretty likable. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, one of the people I follow on Twitter who gets info, dropped a few things about Doomsday. Now his first tweet, I like this one. This was the first tweet before he dropped the rest. I'm just the messenger. Take these next batch of tweets with a grain of salt. Oh, we will, homie. We will. So then he begins tweeting little bits of shit. First one. And some of these are like, okay, yeah, common sense. Dr. Doom spends 90% of the movie with his face obscured by his mask, similar to Robert Pattinson in The Batman, or kept out of view, with the face reveal post-scarring happening in Act 3. Yeah, it makes sense. What the fuck, a Hulk-sized Haley Atwell? I don't know about that. Not what it meant. Okay, never mind. I'll forget that one then. Victor Von Doom apparently has the greatest presence in the story. I would hope so. That's literally named Doomsday. Well, Steve Rogers is apparently all over the movie and interacts with Loki at least once. Yep. We will get back to that in another way later. But this kind of gets corroborated. And we'll talk about that later. Doctor Doom has at least 3 costumes throughout the film. One being with a softer looking mask, as seen in the mid-credits scene of the Fantastic Four First Steps. Right here. And another being the comic accurate, harsher looking one seen at the Disney event in Shanghai. Which is this one. Which is fucking dope. I love that look. And the third one is unclear right now. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense, though. It makes sense. Although I'm kind of surprised we're going to see this one again. Or maybe it'll be something closer to this, but not quite this. And then we'll get this. I don't know. I'm very interested to see what the fuck the third... Oh, chat! It just came to me. What the third costume could be. What if Doomsday ends with Battleworld already being formed and God Emperor Doom being in place? And he's in, and the third costume is the all-white God Emperor Doom costume. Oh, that could be the third one. That could be the third one. Oh, shit. That'll be cool. That would be so sweet. Okay. So there we go. I wonder if anyone mentioned it. Oh, yep. Someone mentioned it right there. The TVA apparently has a countdown to disaster, which the film intermittently cuts back to as time runs out. Well, that's actually, I kind of like that little bit right there. That's cool. It'll give it'll give the audience a sense of a similar sense of tension to what the characters are supposed to be feeling at that point. You know what I mean? That's always kind of cool to do. Okay, I'm down for that. I have way too many bookmarks as it is. Yep, that one. By the way, this is how I do my streams. You're getting a little look behind the curtain, chat. Next one. Dr. Doom is allies with the Avengers until Act 3 of Avengers Doomsday, with him taking off his mask and turning sinister. I mean, that's mostly just kind of common sense, right? The timing of the taking off the mask, that's not necessarily common sense, but the first two acts being Doom seeming like pretending like he's buddies, and then turning around and whipping out a sandpaper condom and fucking him in the third act makes total sense, right? Yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Totally unrelated. I'm not even sure. Oh yeah. Funko's looking to do TV shows and movies about their shit. I don't even know why, but whatever. Okay, here's another one. Oh, 3 Gorilla, welcome. Did you hit like on the way in? Thank you for clicking. Kevin, what's up, man? Feel like Doomsday's gonna be a letdown? Really? Why? I am very curious as to why you feel like that. I 100% feel the opposite. Star Wars is cooked. I mean, basically. I'm still sucker enough to check out each individual project, but I will not be afraid of shitting on it if it sucks. I have not been yet, nor will I ever be. But I will also praise it if I think it's good. All right. The four main characters of Doomsday are Doctor Doom, Reed Richards, Steve Rogers, and Thor. Oh yeah, well, Steve, yes. Thor, yes. We got 2 teasers. Obviously, Doctor Doom, fucking Doomsday, and Reed Richards is super smart and pops in from 828. So yeah, I mean that all makes sense, right? Okay. The arc of Avengers movies is functionally Doctor Doom's supervillain origin, mixing elements of his tragic comic backstory with the overall multiverse arc. Accordingly, he gets a lot of screen time, likely more than Thanos did in Infinity War. And they do have a lot of heavy lifting to do, so that makes sense as well. Hopefully we get Rune King Thor. I feel like if we do, that'll be in Thor 5. After sequel. But it would be highly appropriate if we got it during Doomsday. So that's pretty cool. I'm totally down for that shit. Uh, okay, so this is kind of like a regurgitation of shit we've talked about months ago. Doom's scarred face is the result of an incident that had his wife and child killed. We've talked about that. Much like Vader, the character Doctor Doom clearly influenced from a visual standpoint. That is true. The armor that he wears is the very thing keeping him alive. Yeah, we've gone over that before. Not the first time we've heard that one. There's a reveal sequence from several of the masked Doom followers where they unmask and show themselves to be familiar characters. We've heard rumblings of this before. Some of whom will be added to the film in the final round of additional photography happening in the first half of this year. Okay. Well, that's a good way to keep Team Doom secret, is not even having fucking filmed them yet. I imagine we'll be getting some leaks and some hints as to who's going to be Team Doom coming up pretty quickly, chat. That'll be pretty sweet. Then we'll be able to speculate on what the fuck they're doing and how much they'll be involved and all that kind of good shit. Okay, stuff. Oh, there's that. Oh, hey, there's a bunch of shit that I just read. Okay, cool. You guys want to know about the Maul show? Did an interview with the man himself, Sam Witwer. Let's check this shit out. Hopefully this isn't a long read. Alright, so in the penultimate issue of Star Wars Insider, Sam Witwer gives an insightful interview as he dives into the upcoming animated series Maul Shadowlord, which I genuinely have hype for that show. I love me some Maul, and Sam Witwer's dope. Premiering April 6th on the Disney Plus, the latest Star Wars show finds Witwer reprising his role as the former Sith Lord as he embarks on a new mission in a rapidly changing galaxy. In the interview, Witwer explains Maul's motivations in the show, how he has changed since the Clone Wars, his unexpected stance on the Jedi, the role Savage Opress will play in the series, the mandate Dave. I thought fucking Palpatine killed Savage Opress in the Clone Wars, or am I forgetting something? The mandate Filoni gave the creators of the show, fascinating behind-the-scenes details, and more. Having played Maul for 15 years, Sam Witwer perhaps knows the Sith Lord turned crime lord better than anyone. As such, the Illinois native is a resident expert on all things Maul, including how the character has changed and stayed the same in the new series. Alright, here we go. He's confused and a little apprehensive, Witwer explained. We pick up after the Clone Wars. The Empire's taken over, and Maul's reassessing everything. There were plans in place that were supposed to insulate him from the changes when the Empire came to power, and a lot of the people that were supposed to be there for him were not. He's getting back on his feet, the dust is clearing, and he's looking around the Empire, the thing he and his master have been working towards since he was an apprentice, and thinking, is this what Palpatine had in mind? How do I feel about it? Witwer elaborated on Maul's new stance toward Palpatine. He's very angry at Palpatine, revealed Witwer. He understands now that guy is the root of his suffering. In Shadow Lord, he sees it even clearer. Everywhere he looks in the Empire, he sees Palpatine's hand. If Maul's going to shake his fist at him, he has to believe he's somehow superior to Palpatine. If he's not, then he deserves everything that happened to him. Will reveals that as Maul begins to reassess the Empire that Palpatine has forged, he pursues ambitions of his own. In the opening episodes, you see him pulling strings, trying to build a new power base, detailed Witwer. His plan is ambitious, but he struggles with whether he's the puppet master or the guy who goes and takes care of things himself. He doesn't delegate well. He's so used to being the one who handles everything personally that he often still goes to do it. Maybe he shouldn't. Delegation is very difficult. He doesn't trust easily. Although he doesn't trust easy, Maul relies on the Mandalorian Rook Cast, voiced by Vanessa Marshall, as his first lieutenant. Rook Cast is his first lieutenant, and the relationship is interesting because Maul actually listens to her, Whitney said. He's learned that people have valuable points of view and that, unlike Palpatine, he needs to hear bad news sometimes. He's figuring out what it really means to be a Shadow. Witwer discusses how Maul's psyche has evolved in the new series, but that, quote, he is still the same ruthless, dangerous figure in the new show. If you cross him, you're done. The last time we saw Maul was in the acclaimed Siege of Mandalore arc of the Clone Wars, which was fucking sick. Defeat at the hands of Ahsoka Tano marked just the latest stumble in Maul's grand plans for the galaxy, and it seems that his defeat has had a lasting impact on the Zabrak. He told the truth to Ahsoka about Palpatine's plans, discussed Witwer. Everything he said was true, and he was the only character who had a workable plan when the Empire was about to come to power. He just believed the pitch. This shows bad guys versus worse guys, and Maul's on the bad guy side of that equation. Witwer continued, in this new series, he's learned to fight in other ways too. He's learning to use words, manipulation, persuasion. He's realizing there's responsibility behind every action. That's new territory for Maul. When introduced in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Maul fervently hated the Jedi. At last, we will reveal ourselves. One of his few lines of dialogue in the entire film was used to express his desire to have our revenge. At last, and defeat the Jedi once and for all. And yet, despite all the problems Maul has faced at the hands of the Jedi, he views them differently in Maul's Shadow War. He was trained to use hate and destroy the Jedi without ever questioning it, Witwer said. Now he's looking at the galaxy going, boy, we could sure use a Jedi Knight or two. At least with the Jedi, you knew where they stood. There's something to respect there. This empire, he sees no values there, just a naked grab for influence, power, and money. Principles are gone, and he looks at that with a certain level of distaste. He may not have agreed with the Jedi Knights, but at least they had principle. You knew who you were dealing with, and you could reason with that. There's no reasoning with the Empire. Now we come to Savage Press. Maul has experienced tragedy after tragedy in his lifetime, but few compared the devastation fostered by the murder of his brother Savage Press at the hands of Darth Sidious. Okay, I was right about that. In the Star Wars Insider interview, Whitwer explained how Maul has not forgotten Savage in the new series. You don't dare bring this character back unless there's something interesting to say. He's exploring who he is and also thinking about his brother Savage Press, his first apprentice, and family. Did he treat him as well as he should have, considering how loyal Savage was? No. And now he's finally assessing and realizing I failed. Well, maybe we're going to get him in flashbacks. Supervising director Brad Rao, head writer Matt Michnovets, and executive producer Athena Yvette Portillo, amongst others, seemingly recognize that Whitwer has more to offer in the new show beyond his voice acting. Oh yeah, Whitwer knows his shit. In the new interview, Whitwer explained that he and other creators developed a subplot that was originally not in the script. Alright? We built the subplot that wasn't in the script, and what came out of it is one of my favorite things we've ever done with character, Whitwer revealed. It's strange, emotional, and absolutely Star Wars. I fucking hope so. Yay! Yep, you came in just the right time. What's up, brother? Yeah, I know, boo Star Wars. We're talking about Maul, so it's better. Whitwer's behind-the-scenes role is further explained as the actor revealed he filmed live-action footage for the Lucasfilm animation visual artist to animate. Okay. We've tried things you wouldn't imagine, like me shooting reference footage for complex emotional scenes, so the animators see how my eyes and expressions work. That's actually cool. Series creator and executive producer Dave Filoni, who was recently announced as the new co-president of Lucasfilm, gave one mandate to Sam Whitwer and the rest of the creative team for Maul. Dave Filoni gave us the mandate to do everything better. Acting, scripts, stories, cinematography, sound. Later stated. He told us to push everything further. Whitwer concluded the interview with a resounding statement that is sure to get even the most skeptical of Star Wars fans excited for the new series, except for Justin. We all wanted to make this the best thing we've ever done. Alright, so nothing like super groundbreaking in here. If it's executed well, that is actually pretty cool. That like people came up with their the creative team came up with their own subplot and stuff. They didn't mention anything about that Twi'lek we've seen in the trailers. Not one mention of that little Twi'lek girl, who fan speculation is that that's Darth Talon, or will be Darth Talon when she grows up and becomes a big Sith. So, like I said, I'm very much looking forward to that show. Are you guys looking forward to that show? I'm looking forward to that show. I know Justin's not, but I am. Excuse me. Oh, another quick little bit of gaming news. Chat, check this shizzle out. I know many, many, many people are excited for this. We have a release date for one of the most anticipated games to drop in this year of our Lord 2026. Insomniac's Wolverine game is releasing on PS5 on September 15th, chat. September 15th. Wolverine by Insomniac. Now, y'all know I'm not a massive gamer. I may have to try this game, though. Even though I guarantee I will suck at it. But that's still exciting because I love Wolverine. That's pretty dope. What do you guys think? You excited for Wolverine dropping in September? Specifically, 15th? I think it's pretty fucking cool. We have another God of War casting, chat. Check it out. Ed Screen, not sure, has been cast as Balder in the God of War series. Y'all recognize this motherfucker? How many of you made the mistake of watching Rebel Moon? Because this was the main bad guy. The main bad guy from the absolutely shit-tastic Rebel Moon is going to be Balder in God of War. How fun. I've never played the game, but I'll probably watch the fucking show. Okay. Now we're gonna start getting into the real meat and potatoes, chat. So I'm gonna take a pee pee, and I'll be back shortly. I'm gonna turn the musica up, and I may or may not remember to turn it down when I get back. So much easier to think when your eyeballs ain't floating. All right. Excuse me. Um, all right, chat. Here we go. more Doomsday stuff. There's a few Doomsday things, and then we're done. Brandon, what's up, man? Doing all right? Thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate you. Well, it is what it is. Okay. All right, chat. Here you go. All right. Oh yeah, the Roth stuff. All right. Okay. Actually, you know what, chat? One more quick little gaming thing. Did you all see this shit? There is a Marvel Maximum Collection coming out to consoles and PC. 13 classic arcade games, including X-Men the arcade game, Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge, Captain America and the Avengers, Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage. Check this motherfucking trailer out. Go up. Check this trailer out for this new Marvel game. OG Bloodline. What's up? How you doing? Thanks for popping in. Did you hit the like? If you're super new, did you hit the subscribe? Hit the buttons. And thank you for being here. We're about to watch this trailer for the Marvel Maximum Collection with 13 classic arcade games. Very what's that? Cosmic that Marvel Cosmic whatever fucking game. Hey, you know what? Screw you, Nate. I may not be a gamer, but there are plenty of gamers in my community. Therefore, I will speak about games for my community's sake. So, with all due respect, so now we're going to watch this trailer for this new Marvel collection. Oh my god, I'm a kid again, chat. You visit Marvel's 8-bit, 60-bit arcade, home console, and handheld classics. Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage. Venom Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. What the fuck? Silver Surfer. Go to the museum and more. Marvel Maximum Collection. coming soon. Switch, PS5, Xbox X and S, and Steam for the PC. Nice. That looks dope, chat. What do you think? It just came out. It's out? The honest trailer for Predator Badlands? What the fuck? What do you mean the honest trailer? What the hell is even that? I think that looks cool, chat. Mostly because it reminds me of the shit I actually used to play back in the day. But I think that looks cool. I don't know how much it's going to be, but I want it. Don't know how much it's going to be, but I want it. Okay. All right, chat. Here we go. Never seen half those games? Yeah. I don't know that I might have played a couple of them actually in the arcade. I never owned any of them, but they just look fun. It just looks fun. Looks like more games that I think would be fun to play that I would also suck out loud on a billboard at, which, is my MO when it comes to gaming. All right, so item number 1. This comes from Daniel Rippick. And according to him, Dr. Doom reportedly has a wizard as his second in command in Doomsday. The wizard is also said to use a sling ring. All right, chat. I'm guessing that your all's first thought is probably the same as mine and many, many thousands of other people's, and that is, it's fucking Doctor Strange. Now, why is that our first instinct? Well, number 1, wizard with a sling ring. Number 2, if you've been, because we are who we are, the type of nerds we are, we've been keeping track of like leaks and comments and scoops and reports and all that shit. And it has been, as much as you can say this, it's been well established that Doctor Strange is going to have a big role in the movie. There have been plenty of rumors, going back months and months, that he was going to end up on Team Doom. Honest trailers of the original pitch meetings. Oh, actually, you want to hear something funny about pitch meetings, just real quick? Like, I turn on YouTube and listen to like streams and shit when I'm out driving around. I've been on a listening to pitch meetings kick lately. I've just been in the mood to listen to something to make me laugh. I've been like listening to pitch meeting collections and shit. Why have I been doing that? Again, because I want to laugh, and also because watching a pitch meeting is super easy, barely an inconvenience. Because watching pitch meetings is tight, you know. Ordo would be a twist, but that's dumb. It needs to be Doctor Strange. Oh, Ryan George is fucking hilarious. All right, so yeah. So long established rumors that Strange is going to end up working with Doom. And he works with Doom in the fucking Hickman Secret Wars run, Time Runs Out run. Uh, odds are, odds are, odds are that it is Stephen Strange. He makes the most sense. We've got long-standing rumors. It's probably fucking Doctor Strange. But it doesn't have to be. Because just think about this, chat. Just go with me. Again, it's probably fucking I believe it's Doctor Strange. It's probably fucking Doctor Strange. But just this one little factoid that could mean it's not necessarily a guarantee. And that is, who's actually Sorcerer Supreme in 616 right now, chat? Because it ain't Stephen Strange. Y'all remember? Multiverse of Madness? Who is currently Sorcerer Supreme in the 616? I know you know. Type it in. Could be Mordo for the twist. And it could be a very angry 838 Mordo. But that's not who I'm thinking. Wong, exactly. Wongers is Sorcerer Supreme currently in the 616. Who's a wizard who has a sling ring. Now, if not Stephen Strange, like if Stephen is still out with Clea somewhere, because again, Multiverse of Madness, post credit scene, Clea comes and gets him and takes him off God knows where to fix an incursion that he caused. What if Doom recruits Wongers? Wongers is Sorcerer Supreme after all. Pretty damn powerful. And Strange might not be available because he's gallivanting around the multiverse with Clea. Just a thought. I think it's probably Strange. It is probably Dr. Stephen Strange. There's comic precedents for it. There's rumor precedents for it. Isn't Mordo spelled with a D? Or have I just been mistakenly assuming that for like since Doctor Strange 1? But I mean Mordo could very well make sense, especially if they yank out the 838 Mordo that hates his fucking ass. Actually, it could be 616 Mordo. He's still out there running around trying to kill wizards. Like they haven't addressed that since Doctor Strange. You remember that's where he uh you know, at the end of Doctor Strange, he had that post credit scene where he went and took away Benjamin Bratt's wizardly energy and shit because it's all unnatural and he's fucking angry. So it could be 616 Mordo. Could be 838 Mordo if they're Mordoing. If they're Mordoing, they got a couple choices, a couple variants of Mordo they could utilize there, and it would make sense. I almost think if it is Mordo, it's got to be the 616 Mordo, not the 838 Mordo. Because Doom's already going to be on 616 when he shows up with the Fantastic Four. He could go gallivanting off, being like, "I gotta go do Doom shit," and go recruit him a Mordo. Imagine 838 Mordo reaches out to 616 Mordo. Well, 838 Mordo would have to like do a complete 180 on how he feels about the Darkhold, because the only way to reach 616 Mordo is to dreamwalk to his ass. What's your question, OG Bloodline? You know what I mean? And on top of that, the Darkhold is no longer available to him because all the Darkholds in the multiverse got destroyed at the end of MOM. I'm not sure how he would pull that off. But if you can think of something, tell me. Oh, and speaking of which, he'll be a hypocrite. It makes sense. Speaking of which, it finally occurred to me because y'all remember how I've been having an issue with how the fuck Loki gets Steve from the 616 to the 828 since they're separate trees. Don't fucking argue with me about that anymore because they are. Book of Ashanti. Well, the Book of Ashanti in 838's gone. I mean, Strange could find that in 616. Um, but the way Loki can get Steve and family to 828. And again, then this is because the Loki that does that is before the end of season 2. And Deadpool and Wolverine opened this up. Because if TemPads were not tree jumping devices, they could jump branches, but they couldn't jump full universes until Deadpool and Wolverine. When Deadpool used the TemPad to go from his universe 10005 to 616 to apply to be an Avenger. So now that's an option where it was not originally. Book of Ashanti wasn't in the 838? Yes, it was. Well, it was in a waypoint created by the 838 Strange, I suppose, if you want to get super technical about it. But also, Wanda destroyed that copy of the Book of Ashanti, so they'd still have to find somewhere else to get it. Why did Josh quit Nerd Theory? I don't know. Supposedly it was a money dispute, but who really fucking knows? Who really fucking knows? And personally, it's been so long, I just don't care. I really don't. Would it be nice if Nerd Theory was still going? Fuck yeah. I loved that shit back in the day. But, like, if it's not coming back, I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'm not going to shed a tear. It is what it is. I'm, like, personally, I'm past it. So, it was what it was. It is what it is. And I don't give a fuck about it anymore. So, yeah, probably Strange. Could be Wong. Could be Mordo. All three make sense, but Strange makes the most sense still. All right. Well, that's that one. Any further thoughts on the Wizard second in command? And then we got My Time popping off. So this is interesting. So y'all remember the second teaser trailer that Marvel was attaching to Avatar Fire and Ash, the Doomsday ones, because we got the Steve pharmaceutical commercial, and then we got Thor praying to Odin, then we got X-Men, and then we got the reminder that the teams on Earth are kind of lame. So yeah, we had the Thor prayer. Remember how Thor was praying to Odin? Well, according to My Time to Shine Helizer, that prayer that Thor issues gets answered, and Odin is going to be like, I love you, my son. Here's a fucking army. According to My Time to Shine Hello, Odin's going to give Thor a whole fucking army in answer to his prayer in that teaser scene. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure how much sense it makes. Right? I guess that's going to come down to the timing of it. Like, when in the movie does the prayer happen? When in the movie does it get answered? How will said army be utilized? But just overall, if that prayer results in Odin sending Thor an army, I'm here for it. On paper, I'm totally here for it. I am totally here for it. How about you guys? You guys think it's cool that Odin answers Thor's prayer from that scene with a fucking army? you guys feel about that one? I think that's pretty fucking cool if it's real. Excuse me. Damn, I need another pop. Put your thoughts in the chat, and replayers. Comments. Fuck you, Streamlabs. Thor gets an army from Odin. That's pretty dope. Just a couple more items, chat. Which is good. Because I still got to get up and go to fucking work tomorrow. Oh, look at Icarus hitting. Nice job, buddy. How much did you fucking bet? Oh, damn. All right. That's a good way to get your money back quick, assuming you can hit. How fun would it be if Jay and Theory were doing a WWE work on us all? I want to believe in this theory. Shit. I mean, if they are, they're doing like a super long game work. If that's what they're doing. I know a lot of people initially thought it was a work. Which one of these two guys? The best perks are the long game? I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe they're waiting for the 50th anniversary re-release of Star Wars next year. Which, by the way, is going to be an IMAX, I saw. And again, chat, it's the original theatrical cut. Not that George Lucas enhanced with fucking Greedo shooting first and extra critters and all that shit. Maybe they're waiting for that. I have to admit, the race has been undeniably similar to a pro wrestling storyline. I mean, in aspects, yeah. In aspects, for sure. All right. I'm dragging myself and you guys, you motherfuckers. Josh and Theory are both heels. I mean, kind of in a way, yeah. All right, we're back on track, chat. Back on track. So, a couple weeks ago, almost exactly, my time dropped this little bit. In Avengers Doomsday, Deadpool and Wolverine are sent to Toby's Earth to destroy it. Then we get an epic Toby's Spider-Man versus Wolverine fight that ends in tragedy. So, of course, and there had already been kind of rumors to this effect, everyone's like, yep, Toby gonna fucking die. But we don't know that for sure, though. Obviously. That could be a work. It could look like Toby dies, and then he pops up later. That's a possibility. But, again, this was just over 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago yesterday that she posted this. Now, earlier, was it yesterday or today? Earlier today, around noon, she posts this. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Huge Jacked Man's Wolverine both die in the opening scene that she refers to in this one that she quote tweeted herself. Tobey's Spider-Man and Huge Jacked Man Wolverine both die in that opening scene. What the fuck? Or does it just look like they both die and they'll be back later? Or are they not the variants we think they are, and they're variants of those two variants of Spider-Man and Wolverine, respectively? And then we get the ones we're used to back, and they find some way to explain how those were different than the ones we like. Cool. Now, a lot of people are not fans of this news. Like, literally nobody wants either of these two to die, and they especially don't want it to happen at the beginning of the fucking movie. Like, I don't want either of them to die. I'm not gonna lose my shit if this ends up being true because I only talk about that shit, C-Dub, if someone else brings it up. Right. Yeah, I don't want them to die. I think it would be exceptionally stupid to kill them off, especially super early like that. Which is why I think one of two things is true. One, she's just fucking wrong. Or two, and the more likely of the two, it just looks like they die. And they pop up back later in like the TVA or the Void or some shit like that. I think if like they die, they're not really gonna die. Or I think that's not even true at all. I think they'll fight, and then some kind of shit will happen, but nobody gonna die. But if that is true, I'll say this. It better be that they just make it look like they die and they'll be back later. Because I am with everyone who says it would be stupid as fuck to kill Tobey Maguire off in the first scene of the movie and Huge Jacked Man too. That'd be ridiculous. So hopefully she's either A, full of shit, or B, they're just going to be trying to pull a fast one on us, which is probably the case. But still, there are going to be big roles in Secret Wars. It'll probably be more freaky for like the general audience. They'll be the ones that are like, "What the fuck just happened?" But it won't. But it also wouldn't piss them off as much because they're nowhere near as invested as we are. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. Like Marvel could get away with shit with the GA, they could never get away with us. But in the end, that kind of doesn't matter because if the GA shows up, they're going to make all the money. But if they don't, then you get last year. With a $400 million movie, a $300 million movie, and a $500 million movie. For Marvel. Yeah. Took them 3 movies, and they still couldn't quite come up to what Deadpool and Wolverine made on its own. Or it's right around there. Between 1.2 and 1.3 billion. The 3 together. Whereas Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024 made 1.3 billion on its own. So Campia and Burnett. By the way, he spells it B-U-R. Just saying. Really seem to know everything about Doomsday. Campy keeps saying a huge spoiler is going to happen soon that is going to change all of these theories. Well, Campy needs to quit being a bitch and actually tell us something himself. First of all, like, if you want to celebrate that you know shit, then say shit. You know? Right now you're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk, John Campia. That's why Thor 5 should go rated R. I doubt they would do... Marvel's not going to go whole hog on rated R because that limits their audience. Thor is probably not a character they would go R with. Obviously, they've gone R with Deadpool. I feel like Midnight Suns is another good project to go R with. Yeah, I don't see them going R with Thor. He's too much of a mainline character. You know what I mean? They'll keep it to like B tier and below characters for R-rated projects, I feel like. It'll be shocked if it is not by April, but he's going to be the one to do it. That's what I'm saying. He's being a pussy. Champion needs to quit edging us and just start stroking. Fucking spit on your hand and get to work, Campia. Let's go. Is at the same point as Hugh when he went R? Well, right, but don't forget, Logan was not done by Marvel Studios. Yeah. Oh, there are so many people that have access to that script. There's no way him giving us little tidbits would fucking reveal his source. He's so full of shit. Fuck that. Fuck all of that. He's just being a little bitch. He just needs to suck it up. All right. Last one, chat. What the fuck just happened? Last one, chat, and the one that has everything to do with the thumbnail. Now, this is a cool guy, and also he's a bit of an aggregator that I follow. So, but he saith, according to my time to shine, holler. Stop it, C-Dub. According to my time to shine, holler. In Avengers Doomsday, Doctor Doom kills everyone at the TVA, including Loki. What? I mean, we knew Doctor Doom was going to wreak havoc at the TVA, right? We knew people were going to die. That's That's what Campia will forever be remembered for. Yes. Campia and Tobey Maguire's junk are now inseparable. Metaphorically speaking, although it seems like Campia would prefer that to be literal. But, you know, not that I give a shit. It's just funny. I couldn't care less one way or the other, whether Campia likes penis or whether he doesn't. If he wants to do an impression of, like, you know, quality control at UPS and inspect packages, do what you gotta do, John boy. Loki ain't dying. Maybe. Maybe not. See, here's the thing. Loki's already died 3 times. 3? There's Endgame. He didn't actually die in Thor when he fell off the what do you call it? That bridge there. Who's Peter Parker? The German version of Spider-Man. He didn't die in Endgame. Loki didn't. I'm pretty sure Thanos killed him. They're in the very beginning of the movie. Or Infinity War. God damn it. Is Infinity War, not Endgame, yes. So yeah, Infinity War did not die in Thor 1 or Thor 2. Did not die in the Loki series. They showed him dying in Infinity. They showed the Avengers version of Loki how he does die in Infinity War. What are the other 2 times he died? Well, a fake death is not a death. Fake death is not a death. It's a fake death. That's why the word fake's in front of it. All right, so here's the deal, chat. We've long heard rumors about a big old battle at the TVA. We've heard lots of rumors that Loki's basically a MacGuffin in this movie. Obviously, there's the rumor that in the beginning of the movie, he's the one that moved Steve and family to 828. Excuse me. You know, it's long been speculated that Loki's power is a big chunk of what Doom needs to do his Doom Battle World thing. So, and again, we knew Doctor Doom was going to be wreaking mass havoc and killing a lot of people at the TVA to get to the Citadel at the end of time, and Loki. So, believe it or not, I can buy this, and here's why. Because I'm firmly convinced most, if not all, of the people that die in Doomsday will be back in Secret Wars. So, like, if Shine is telling the truth and Toby and Wolverine kill each other at the beginning of Doomsday, they'll be back in Secret Wars. Because when Doom recreates the universe, he can bring back whoever he wants. Now, why he'd bring that back, we're not going to ask too many questions. We're not going to think about it too much. Or it could be an inadvertent side effect, you know, that he doesn't realize he's bringing people back. So yeah, I'm firmly convinced most, if not all, if there are people that die in Doomsday that will not come back for Secret Wars, it's mostly going to be Fox X. So yeah. So even if she's right, Toby, Toby and Wolverine fight and die, back in Secret Wars. Doom wipes out the TVA and kills Loki, back in Secret Wars. Now, so this actually, if true, does make sense because they're fucking bringing everyone back to Secret Wars anyway. But it'll be again a fun shock to the general audience who is not even as plugged in as a casual nerd. Like casual nerds probably don't know and or talk about the shit that we talk about. You know what I mean? Like we're the hardcore. We're the ones that will bitch and will moan and will still be seated when a movie hits theaters. We might be a bit more discerning when it comes to Disney Plus shows, but Marvel theater offerings we're all pretty much seated. Let's just be real. Oh, I can't wait till they re-release it in theaters in September. Seat up. I'm still fairly convinced that we're going to get a post-credit in that is tied to Doomsday. If they don't, that would be such a massively wasted opportunity, and I would probably have to shit on them on stream for not doing it. Like real talk. If they don't do it, I'm going to shit on them for it because that is a massive missed opportunity if they don't do that. So, yeah, I think again, assuming it's true, it'll be some good shock value for the general audience, and we'll sit there like, damn, they actually did that shit. But we'll see y'all back in a year when Secret Wars comes out. You know, what do you guys think? Dude, on your left, I was tearing up before they even started rolling up. You know, the static on your left, and then portals. Holy fuck, that shit was dope. Like, huge kudos to the Russos on that one and Marcus and McFeely. That was badass. All right, chat. We are finally through all the subjects, and I still deleted probably a third of the ones I had because I was like, fuck this shit. I was thinking about talking about the fucking Paramount, Netflix, Warner Brothers shit, but no. TLDR it for you real quick. Uh, Warner Brothers is letting Paramount do another final offer, which Netflix can still meet or exceed. The Ellisons have been talking to Trump. Supposedly Ted Sarandos is going to Washington. I think maybe even today or sometime this week to toss Trump's wrinkly salad for the regulatory process. So it's not over yet, folks. Not over yet. That's basically the TLDR on that. The idea that Thor throws his hammer and Doomsday dies, Loki catches it, then the two may be reunited. Secret Wars would be nice. That would be interesting. Avengers Assemble is bound to give me chills. Oh, 100%. If Steve pops off with an Avengers Assemble, I will be like, fuck yes. Although I gotta say, I gotta tell you, chat, when it comes to fucking Marvel moments that get me, probably the one that's gotten me the most, although some of the shit that happened to fucking Rocket in Guardians Volume 3 got me pretty hard too. I have a very soft spot when it comes to animals. Um, Icarus. Avengers, this flame on. Good one. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah. I got so psyched and misty when fucking Wolverine pulled that cowl on. Oh my god. When Wolverine pulls on the cowl. Oh. And not a sexual but yeah. That was a big one for me. That one was a big one for me. It's still not on the level of like some of the ones you guys are talking about from Endgame, but when he puts that cowl on and before the poorly CGI'd fucking street scene, yeah. All right, chat. Where I'm at, it's officially Thursday. So, you guys got any final thoughts? Because if not, I'm getting the fuck out of here. In Battle World, Loki grabs all the timelines, pulls them into one, assembling the Avengers of every universe. That would be pretty sweet. I don't know how he's going to get to the timelines in the void. I know it's tossing Gatorade. I'm assuming you got autocorrected to Gatorade, and I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be. Oh, Gatorade. You mean Gamora? Yeah, that was pretty emotional too. That High D trailer looks epic as fuck. I'm gonna have to watch it. I have a bookmark still. I gotta watch it because I don't dare fucking watch it on stream because Warner Brothers sucks a big bag of dicks. Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Hot D too. You were cooling on the second season. Here's okay. So here's my take on Hot D season 2. Watching it come out weekly, those were each individual high quality episodes of television taken on their own. Once you put it all together into a season of TV, story wise and progress wise and pacing wise, it was disappointing. Bifrost, that's what I was trying to think of. So yeah, if you take each episode individually, fucking highly well crafted fucking TV. Like top tier fucking TV, each episode on its own. But put together, in a season with the through line, and they just spent way too much time, way too much time with old boy tripping balls on the witch brew in that castle. Damon. Way too much time on Damon fucking around that castle. Like it was a whole season of setup. So, it was a bit of a letdown in that way, but quality wise, it was still right up there. Like overall, very much looking forward to season 3. Supposedly, the big battle that they wanted to put at the end of season 2, and HBO was like, "Fuck no, we've spent enough on this bitch already," is going to be like how season 3 opened, allegedly. Exactly, C-Dub. That wasn't necessary. Yeah. Be good to me, Streamlabs. Be good to me, Streamlabs. You motherfucker. Oh, they did cut too. They wanted 10, which is why they were trying to end with that big old epic battle. But nope. But we get at the beginning of season 3. So season 3 should start off fucking hardcore. And we'll see if it maintains. Alright, chat. I love you guys very, very much, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's late. And I must go get some sleep. Zaslav took over mid-season 2 production. Really? I thought he'd been around for a hot month or a hot minute. Although sometimes my sense of time is like, huh. I did not know that. Watch the trailer. Oh, I'm gonna watch the trailer, just not on stream because Warner Brothers is a big bunch of buttholes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that trailer out for sure. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. If you made it all the way through on the replay, thank you for hanging. Everyone hit the buttons you didn't hit on the way out, on the way in. Pretty please and thank you. Have a good rest of your week. And, you know, if my computer decides to fucking behave, we will be back this Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Again, my thanks for choosing to spend your time here when there are so many other ways you could be spending it. Much love, y'all. Thank you very much. Bye. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We did it, chat. We plowed through all that shit. And we had fun doing it. At least I did. I hope you all did. Fucking Icarus? That's like 3 times you've hit huge now. God damn it. Quit taking everyone else's points, bro. I'm just kidding. That's awesome, though, man. Congratulations. Also, fucking share alike. Anyway. Thank you guys for being such a dope-ass community and showing up on the regular and hanging out with my goofy ass. I appreciate you. Again, so many other things you could be doing, but you're here, and that's fucking amazing. And I am eternally grateful that you guys have chosen to be part of this community. Have a good and safe and hopefully happy rest of your week, and we should better fucking be back Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, where we'll talk about what happens between now and then. Much love, y'all. Thanks for being here. Come back Saturday. Hit all the buttons. Leave all the comments. Do all the things. Peace.